What's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers live on a Thursday. Today is the NBA trade deadline that's happening, and we're getting into the last hour as we speak. Who's going to be traded? There's a flurry of trades that normally come in towards the very end. We'll be off the show by that time, but there's trades already coming in right now. So they're nothing that is going to move the needle in the landscape of the NBA, but there are potentially some big names that could be on the move, but we'll keep you up to date if anything does break during the time that we're on the show today. But on the show today, we're going to talk about the NBA trade deadline. Robbie's got a little nugget on maybe going overseas for the NFL next season. And then we're also going to get into our plays, and then we're going to finish it off with TV timeout. We're talking traders again, and it feels like it's been so long since the last episode, and it's only been a week. But a lot has changed, and I'm curious Robbie's thoughts on how everything played out on the last episode. But before we get there, let's take a look back and see how it was. And looks like the Red Wings came in clutch. They scored one goal. It was a power play goal. Shout out to Mark with even money there. But the point parlay, we lost that one. Cole Caulfield, I didn't even look at him because I saw Johnston, no bueno. So I don't even know what Cole Caulfield did, but he is an American. My American. There are no goal scorers today, but the guy who usually calls the goal scorers, he's Robbie Hockey. What up, man?
What's up, man? Yeah, I got as many points as Wyatt and Cole last night, so that one sucked. I think I had like 6 on the site. I believe 4 of them hit. The 2 that didn't, that was one of them. So sorry to everybody. I thought they would try to prove their country wrong and, that they should have been on Team USA, at least Cole Caulfield, and they decided not to. So
makes me think they're just not real Americans. That's what it probably is.
That's it.
All right, let's go ahead and we're starting off the show now. Out of the blocks, we get going, especially with our bets. So let's go ahead and throw it to you, Robbie. What you going for today?
Yeah, let's see if we can get this one to go. I'm taking Tim Stützle and Alex Ovechkin for 1+ point. These two are just popping off the sheet tonight. Stützle has been on a tear recently. He's racking up points. He has 6 straight games with a point, and he has a point in 8 of his last 10 overall. If you're looking at shots on goal, he has at least 2 shots on goal in 9 of his last 10, a great parlay piece. And then tonight, honestly, between both teams, Philly and Ottawa, they're very similar in their makeup. But I trust Ottawa a little bit more tonight. Ever since Linus Ullmark come back from the personal issues he had, they've been playing much better. And Tim Stützle scored 2 goals the last time he played Philly. So if you're looking for a goal scorer, Tim Stützle is your guy tonight. And then we're going back to my guy, Alex Ovechkin. We backed him a ton last year. He plays my Preds tonight. And when you look up the history between him and Nashville, there's nothing but green. He has a total of 7 goals in his last 9 games against my Preds. Nashville has given up 11 goals overall in their last 2. I like Ovi just to get a point tonight and an anytime goal as well.
All right, let's go to the NBA here. And I'm doing something I normally do not do. It is a little parlay action. And the only reason I did it is, one, it's the same game parlay, so it should be pretty easy to pair these two together. This was on FanDuel for the best odds that I could find. We're going to go 8+ rebounds for each dude. Let's start off with Alex Sarr. He's the center for the Washington Wizards, who's taking on Jalen Duren's Detroit Pistons. But I look at Alex Sarr coming off of a 15-rebound performance the last time he went up against Detroit this season. But also Sarr has been rebounding a lot better as of late, especially shorthanded with not as many players. He's going to get the minutes. It's the trade deadline today. He's going to get the minutes. He's going to play because, honestly, people in these teams are putting together whoever is possible and able to play. They're getting on. I love Sarr to grab 8 rebounds just himself. If you want to just play this, it's at plus 122. But then we're going to pair him with Jalen Duren, who over the last 9 games against the Washington Wizards, he has had 8+ rebounds easy. And so because of that, at plus 146, I'm going to pair him. His line is 10.5. So we're getting a discount on that, put them together, and that's going to be 8+ rebounds each for everybody. If you're looking for some fun to play in, whether if you want to go 10+ rebounds for Jalen Duren, pair him with the Washington with the Detroit Pistons to win, that's fine too. But I like this one the best just overall. So those are our plays today, and I don't see anything happening right now as we stay up to date. There was a trade that just happened here recently in the NBA, and I want to bring that up because Shams reported, which, can I just say something about Shams? The dude sucks. Like, in all honesty, like, he's just the messenger boy. Like, and I know a lot of people want to say, like, oh, Shams, he's with ESPN now. And I'm not talking bad about ESPN. He's honestly the only guy who does a good job of getting out the message. But he's just a messenger boy. He has no intel, no insight, and he honestly, a lot of it's just fraudulent. Like he's saying, "Hey, don't go to sleep. Hey, well, there's something big coming." Bruh, you ain't been right on anything. And so at that point, we don't really listen to Shams, but he's the guy who brings us the bread. So we're going to keep hanging out with him.
Not quite a Woj bomb. Is that what they called him? A Woj bomb?
He had no insight at all. Like Woj.
Yeah.
Woj was a maniac with this.
Yeah.
The 76ers are trading Eric Gordon in a 2032 second round pick swap. So it's just a pick swap, pretty much just getting off of Eric Gordon. Gives them a little more flexibility with Philadelphia, which means they should have something up their sleeve here. They did that with the Memphis Grizzlies just to get off some money. And it looks like, in all honesty, I don't know if the Grizzlies are going to be trading John Moran at this point. We're within the hour, so we don't know what's happening. And then the Celtics traded Josh Minott to the Nets. Denver's trading Hunter Tyson, not Mike's kid, but Hunter Tyson. They're trading him to Brooklyn. And it's just for picks. So there's not much happening right now in the NBA within the trade deadline. But I do want to get into a little bit of the trade deadline. But it's Super Bowl week. So you brought up a tidbit about the NFL. What's going on overseas and what country are they going to next?
It looks like the Rams are playing the 49ers in Australia next season. The date and time I don't believe has been set yet, but it just came out right before we came on. Adam Schefter reported it. So that's very interesting. You have two division rivals playing in Australia. They normally don't have division teams playing overseas against each other. So I'm interested to see what LA and San Francisco fans feel about that, because one of them's going to lose a true home game next year.
Yeah, that's what just looking at that. Do you like these games that are overseas?
I don't hate it. It's especially the time difference. I like waking up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday and getting my NFL fix early. Kind of sucks for player props because you have to get it all done the night before. But other than that, no, I actually do like it.
Yeah, and who's the home team that would be losing an actual home game? Who's the home team in this game?
The Rams are the designated home team for this one.
So stupid. But the fact they're going to Australia is the first time ever. I don't know if there can be, I guess they can continue to do this the first time evers in different places. But they just went to Germany this past year, right?
Yes, I think it was Germany. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I enjoy it for the limited amount, but yes. I keep seeing it used to be like 2 games a year. Now there's 3 to 4 games a year. And so it continues to keep, growing. But that Australia trip, I think, Joe's, isn't that a 20+ hour flight? I believe it's a full day.
Yeah. I know when WWE goes over there for their pay-per-views, that it's like 8 a.m. is when that game kicked, or when those pay-per-views would start. No, actually, it's like earlier. It's like 6:30 or 7 a.m. our time.
So stupid.
When those start. It's crazy.
So dumb.
And I saw your comment, Joe, about the point. Right now with the Olympics coming up, I don't trust many players. And these have been working for me on the site. If you want a guy, it's still kind of a long shot, but Igor Chernikov for the Pittsburgh Penguins, you can get him at a point at plus 130. He's been lighting up the score sheet as of late. He has a good matchup against Buffalo. He scored against them twice. So if you're looking for just a solid point play, Igor Chernikov for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I wouldn't even try. Is it the last name start with a T?
No, Chinikov. So like China Kov.
So stupid.
Chinikov.
Joe said, "All right, Penguins on it. We'll figure it out."
Yeah.
I just look for the
Igor.
alphabet. Yeah, look for the alphabet guy. He's going to be the guy with the first name Igor. All right. So we obviously had the Olympics start, and the women hockey USA. They put belt to ass this morning, as everybody else in the chat saying that's what Detroit's going to do tonight to the Wizards. But does this, do you ever look at the women's hockey or anything outside of hockey for the Winter Olympics at all? Do you watch any of it?
I don't mind the skiing. I've been trying to keep up with Lindsey Vonn with her tearing her ACL, and I saw her doing front squats today. I think that's pretty damn amazing. But honestly, it's hockey or nothing for me. Unless I'm just at work, got nothing on for background noise, I may throw it on, but I'll pay attention to the hockey.
Well, I'm hearing that USA curling isn't going to be as good this year. They've been good. It's been entertaining. Have you never watched the curling shows ever?
I've watched it.
Events.
I've not kept up with how good or bad we've done, but I have watched it a few times.
Yeah, asked Raphael this afternoon, and just he had said on the show that they're not as good. They're 150 to 1 to win gold. because of some people got hurt. Like, that's a big number. And so I don't know what we're going to do, because my main thing I enjoy is the USA curling, even though I don't think we don't win gold, but we still are competitive. And Jose, I think the Canadians are the one who dominate curling, but we the people, we're going to figure it out this year. 150 to 1. Might have to sprinkle a little bit on that one.
I cannot wait for that 30 for 30, like the miracle team of the USA hockey team. I can't wait for the 2026 USA curling team 30 for 30 to come out.
Who's expected to win men's hockey this year?
Man, Canada looks good. Canada offensively looks good. I think we have better goaltending and better defense. It's just trying to McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, those guys are just beasts. And if we can get good goaltending and we can get a good defense, it's going to be all right.
Sid the Kid is Canadian?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been lied to.
Yeah,
like, I thought
Canadian.
He was the young kid coming up in hockey, like my real American, and he's Canadian. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Me, because I hate that guy. I still have memories of him in the 2017 Stanley Cup beating my Preds. I'm never a Sidney Crosby fan.
Wow. All right, we got some breaking news here in the NBA world. It looks like Shams was reporting the Clippers are trading Ivica Zubac, who is the big center. He's a big body and honestly can score, can rebound like crazy, going to Indiana. I don't see what they're getting back for that. But why the Pacers would do this is because he's on a team-friendly contract. I know this because I even wanted him for the Grizzlies at one point, because you bring in a big body. He's on like a $20 million contract, I believe it is. It's not a big number compared to the 30s and the 40s and even 50s now. But at this point, he's a guy that can contribute. He's your style. And so now, after losing Miles Turner for the Pacers last year, they're bringing in another big, and it's a throwaway season because, right, there's no Tyrese Halliburton, but Tyrese Halliburton will be back next year playing in that system. It should be pretty good. So I'm not sure if they're going to grab Zubac, then I would assume that they're probably going to hold serve on a lot of their young players and just kind of, honestly punt on the season and get ready for next year. So you know who Zubac is, right?
Yes, I do know that name. And I wanted to ask you too about Porzingis. Is he not as good as he used to be? Has he fallen off? I just saw, like, I can only keep up. I know that name. I know he was big for Boston at one point, right? Or was it the Knicks? Okay.
So, well, yes. Well, and Dallas, he's been kind of moved around a lot. He's, been tossed around a little bit, but in Boston, they, he contracted some kind of virus or infection or something, and they could not figure out what it was, but it was like, it was not able to play because of what it was doing to his body. And being, injuries outside of that was one thing that took him out. And eventually he gets sent out to, I believe it was Washington, the Wizards, and then Washington ends up sending him out to Atlanta. Well, now Atlanta has traded with the Warriors, and the Warriors have, they're sending out Buddy Hield, who's a decent shooter, probably a little paid too much in a sense, but they had to get off of Jonathan Kuminga, who wanted a new contract, and he was butting heads with the coach, and so got rid of those two to bring in Porzingis. And I don't understand it with Jimmy Butler out for the season. This is a complete punt, because I wouldn't assume that Kristaps Porzingis, who hasn't really played all year from injuries and then an issue like a sickness, whatever that medical issue is still hampering him. I don't know if he's good. And I think that's the God honest truth for most people. We don't know if he is any good, because a bad sickness, just imagine what that does to your body, right? It just completely breaks everything down. You have to build it back up if you were like, we're just losing muscle. So that's kind of where I think it is.
Wow. So Golden State's taking the Raiders approach now. Just they're like a graveyard, the retirement home for NBA players now, right?
Yeah, there's something. And Steve Kerr, the coach, has not signed a new contract for the Warriors moving on beyond this season. Steph Curry, what do they do with him? I would assume they're not going to completely punt and get rid of Steph Curry. But if you want to shake things up, if you think that you might not get Steve Kerr back because he doesn't want to do a rebuild and you don't have anything left, if it was me, I would just punt completely and send out Steph Curry, because he's aging anyway. He's still really good, but maybe 2 more years, maybe. I don't think that you would do that, even though you still have Jimmy under contract. That's kind of what I would do.
You know, if Curry decided he wants to shake things up and come to Orlando, I'd buy his jersey tomorrow. So he's more than welcome to come to my Magic squad.
Magic are definitely holding serve. They have no more picks. The Grizzlies have every pick because they felt like they needed to trade 5 picks for Desmond Bane for whatever reason. Dummies is what I'll say. Even though I love Des, but whatever.
Yeah.
Joe's about the Minnesota Timberwolves. They've done nothing. They're going to get back Mike Conley, from my understanding. They will be receiving him back because once you're traded twice and then released, you can go back to the team who you were with currently before the trades. So that's the rule. Whatever. Just going to explain it. So hopefully they're going to get him back. I like Mike Conley. Eventually retire as a Grizzly one day and have his number in the rafter with the other core 4 members. But that's kind of where we're at. I don't see anything else that's happening in general within here besides that. That's the only thing I see. So that's the latest news we have is Zubac going to the Pacers.
Now we're on trade talk. It is possible because the New York Rangers did trade Artemi Panarin yesterday with like 10 minutes to go before the trade deadline and traded him to the LA Kings. Now, I don't know what this does for the Kings. The Rangers suck. We've all discussed that already a few times on this show. So they just got worse. But the Kings they're kind of a middle of the road team, and Panarin does not have great playoff history. And that's where the Kings are trying to up their game because they keep getting put out by Edmonton every year in the playoffs. Will Panarin help? I think he could. If him and Adrian Kempe can get together and get some chemistry going, I think that could help the Kings. But I think the Kings are still missing another piece. But talking about trades, that's the big hockey trade that happened yesterday, I think right about 10 minutes before the deadline.
Yeah, I saw that. And so explain the deadline real fast, and then we're going to get to talking traders because it was a great episode talking about the banquet. But it's different this year because of the hockey and going to the Olympics and all that. So why is there kind of 2 deadlines in a hockey season?
Yeah, so the roster freeze is what it's called as of yesterday. So all the rosters are frozen. You can't see anyone to waivers, and you can't make any trades until the Olympics, I think, are over. It's around the 23rd of February, I believe is the date. So right now, all the rosters are frozen. The next trade deadline basically is in March. Early March is when the official trade deadline happens. So I know New York wanted to get rid of him. Panarin, the only place he wanted to go was L.A. Seattle offered him a huge bag, and he said, no, thank you, and ended up going to L.A. And like Nate said, he went for a 3rd rounder, a bag of chips, and Liam Goldtree, I think is his name. And I probably got that name wrong because I've never even heard of the kid before. But yeah, the Rangers got fleeced. They didn't even get much back for it.
As long as it's not the Cutter Gold Chain guy. Sounds too similar. Big fan of that guy. Don't need him going anywhere.
No, I don't see Cutter. Cutter, I don't think is going anywhere, especially with the way Anaheim's trying to make a run. I did see that our goalies are 2 of the worst in the league, with Saros being just ahead of Dostal for most goals allowed in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Takes him a little bit. Like very similar to me. Like I get up in the morning, I'm very slow moving. Very. So like maybe he has that issue. Just needs a little lubrication, maybe take a hot shower a little later. Closer to the dropping of the puck, whatever what do you call when you drop the puck time thing?
Yeah, just drop the puck.
Drop the puck time. Puck drop time.
Puck drop. Yeah.
So it's not like a tip off. It's just puck drop.
Puck drop. Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, let's get to a couple of these plays real quick. I'm learning. Listen, very fluent in my hockey talk. But Taj here, part of justthatsports.com. You can go ahead and sign up now. You can get 50% off your first month. Data 100 is the code. Very easy, very simple. You'll get all of our plays, much more than you're getting here, which usually it's just 2 a day. Fridays, we spoil you. But besides that, you're getting 2 a day most of the time. But he's playing the Raptors -8.5 going against the Bulls. The Bulls are honestly, they're on the struggle bus. They can't get off. They're getting ran over on the bus, out of the bus, every part of the bus. They're getting hit. So I like that play. And then Sacred Heart on the money line. This is college basketball going against Fairfield. That's all I know. I would just take
Sacred Heart was the hospital in that show Scrubs. I thought that was what they called the hospital, was Sacred Heart.
Yeah, it might be. All right. Well, it's trader time. It's trader time, as Tony says. But before we get to trader talk, I have a friend always here, always joining. Margot, big fan of traders. All right, big fan of traders. Say hello and then keep it moving. All right. Peace out. All right. Well, it's time to talk some traders. So let's go ahead. And first, I don't even have my stuff here. And because why do I have the video? Here it is. Here's Seabass's video.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors: original, hot, and no salt. That's going to turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
All right, let's talk some traders. We now, and this is a spoiler alert, if you have not watched the show, one, shame on you, because it's been a long week. Like, we look forward to Thursday nights now, and my entire family watches. And I want to share a little secret, and do not tell that many people. Okay, Robbie, you already know. But last week, I don't know if it was a special episode, but the show's been coming out. What, it's 8 o'clock Eastern? Is that right? No, I think so. 9 o'clock Eastern. 8 o'clock.
Me 7.
So it's 7 our time?
Are you sure? 7 and said it had dropped because I was like, I thought it was going to be at 8 o'clock.
I think it's 7:30. What?
I've slept since then, man.
It's 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock. Listen, I'm not going to lie to everybody. Traders, there it is. 9 o'clock Eastern. All right, so it's 8 o'clock Central Time, God's time zone, as I like to call it. But so 9 o'clock Eastern time is when traders supposed to come out on Peacock, whatever. Well, it's been coming out 15 minutes early. So at 8:45 Eastern is when it's been coming out. Well, this past episode, it came out at 8:30 Eastern. So it's starting to come out a little bit earlier. They're not going to announce that. They're not going to share it. But I'd say starting around the 30-minute mark, start looking at the new traders, see if the new episode came out. But definitely by the 15-minute mark, they put it out. That way it is fully live at 9 o'clock Eastern. They don't want to put it out right at 9 because then there could be too many people watching at the same time, and then it would jumble everything up. So little secret, just wanted to share that with you so you can watch it a little earlier than you expect. All right, let's get to it. Lisa Rinna goes home. Good call, bad call?
For Rob's game? Good
Anybody.
Call, I think. I mean, for America, it's a great call because I'm tired of listening to her. Every time she talked about herself in the third person, it drove me crazy. So, yeah, I'm kind of happy she's gone, if I'm being honest. The only problem is it hurts our girl Candace's game, but as far as TV watching, I'm glad she's gone.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing is like I like Lisa Rinna, the most I've ever liked her on this show. Most of the times on the Desperate Housewives, I can't get past the lips. They weren't as bad. They weren't right in my face most of the time, which is I was better without that. But she was bearable. And still, the whole speaking out of third person, like I even hate saying when I introduce myself, saying DG, because that's not what I call myself. My mom didn't call me that, right? But saying Daniel Greer sometimes is one, mushmouth doesn't exactly go in my favor. Two, it just sounds weird to me when people name my full government name. So I get that, but like speaking of yourself so often as Lisa effing Rinna, like I don't care about that. So it doesn't make sense, but I'm glad that she's finally gone. Like it didn't make sense to me that like, why wouldn't you go ahead and go for it again? Do you agree with Rob's decision though? Last time it was like a little bit of a throwaway. And then this time he went all in for it at this point.
I think he was just as tired of her as we were because it didn't make sense because I felt like he could have covered his tracks, a little bit. I know last week, I know why he did it, but I felt like there was angles they could have worked this time and you could have taken the heat off of her, but he went all in. I mean, he went head first and decided, nope, he wants Lisa out just like everybody else. And of course, now he's got some friction with Candace. So yeah, but for his personal game, I think what he's doing is smart for his personal game. I got no lie to tell. I think you're taking the targets completely off your back now. The only problem with doing that is how good is Candace going to be and how much is Candace going to target you now. since you took a girl out. So that's the biggest problem he's going to face.
And that's kind of where I'm at is, and we'll get into all that. But like, as Mark's saying here, Rob turned all of Candace's energy on him. I want to ask, there's twofold at this point. Let's talk about Candace first, because we briefly talked about it. And if you're watching, if anybody has a chance after the show is over, about 15 minutes, the last 2 episodes, I believe that's when Seabass has been on doing a spaces on Twitter. And I don't even remember what his handle is anymore. He barely even remembered. But Candace was on her this last episode or last show, and we get a chance to talk to her. They both answered, and everybody just kind of shared a little bit. But at this point, like, I don't know if it was the best decision for her, because that was a random vote, and I still think it was a bad move. And she says that, well, it was a shot because he was coming at her girl, Lisa Rinna, which is another housewife. And I don't agree with that. So what's your take on that?
One, I don't think you ever say this is a throwaway vote in a house full of faithfuls that are trying to sniff out traitors. I think that's the worst thing you could have said, because that instantly makes people's eyebrows go up, whether you're bad. I think she should have got a feel of the audience. I know she wouldn't have taken out Lisa, but I can't even remember who was she up against last week. It was her. I'm drawing a blank.
Wasn't it
Colton? Colton? Might have been Colton. I would have just thrown a vote on Colton at that point.
No, it was that other girl, Natalie.
Yes.
Natalie. That's where she should have thrown the vote, is Natalie.
She should have thrown it on Natalie or like Mark said, Natalie or Colton are safer, I think, than just out of the blue, you're just going to throw it on Rob. I think that put some eyeballs you didn't want on you now. So I didn't like the move. When we do the spaces, hell, I've had like 5 minutes to, set with the episode. I don't have full time to think about it. Usually I think about it when I'm doing work around the house, and then I finally come to a conclusion whether I like things or not on the show. But I don't like that throwaway. I think she should have maybe even said something other than a throwaway vote. I don't know, but that would have raised my eyebrows.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. Is I think it was a bad gameplay. I think it was out of little anger, and it was an emotional play. But in my opinion, one, we talked to her and she said it was not an emotional. It was on purpose. Let's call a spade a spade. It wasn't smart for a game. I don't know how this all plays out. I don't know who wins, right? She could end up winning this whole thing and we have no idea. Okay. But I haven't seen Seabass buy a brand new car yet. So I don't know if he won. I don't know if she won. No, I have no idea. I've never met him in person. Let's just be honest.
Mark's the only one that has out of the 3 of us. So.
Exactly. He's still working. He's still trying to, get the ice out from the frozen pipes. Not Mark, the Seabass as well.
Both.
Both of those guys. But I look at that and see that her doing that puts a target a little bit, because people like Candace and it puts them head up against each other. And there was another one in here I want to bring up because it was from Tony Meskers. I'm getting worried about Candace. The last minute switch to burn vote looks fishy. And that's the thing. She finally made a switch. And I think that people will catch on to her. Do you agree that people could catch on because of the last minute switch?
Yeah, especially ones that are really in tune with the game. Colton and Natalie, I think for sure will have some questions, and I think they'll have something to say about what she did on this last episode. And if it's her versus Rob now, you've got basically a traitor on traitor crime. And the faithfuls are only going to be the ones that come out clean in all this.
Yeah, I agree. And all right, so they're going to the turret, right? It's the last thing we saw, kind of looking ahead. How do you think this goes? Because this is the first time you're seeing this. I would assume you haven't gone back and seen any other seasons where this is this potential going to the turret after you just had traitor on traitor crime. This is the first time you're seeing it. So how do you think it's going to go?
And this is where her and Rob meet up secretly. Is that
correct? Yes.
Making sure I got my verbiage right. Okay. So I think it's going to be a little heated, and I think she's going to be more heated than him. I think he's going to keep doing what he's doing and, casually being like, I did what I did. I thought it was, it helped my game. And at the end of the day, we're here to win money, and I want to win the money.
Well, I think that's an easy way to talk out of it. But what that does is that says, if you want to come against me, fine. I think I think you need a better explanation than that, in my opinion. I think it has to be. I just felt like I couldn't go against my people, and I had to make a decision to go against her since I was already on her. And I didn't expect everybody else to, I don't know, pitch. I don't know, but at this point for Candace, a housewife goes home.
Yeah.
If she can get unscathed by the fact of people thinking about this vote, a housewife goes home. Do you think that they would think there's another housewife in the turret as a traitor?
See, that's the thing, but they already voted. They already know that Lisa helped vote off another housewife. So maybe they don't. Maybe this actually helps Candace because they think maybe, well, Lisa was the one that was the traitor in a sense of her housewife sister. I wonder too, I had my train of thought and then I totally lost it. It was a good question that I had for you. Now I don't even remember what it is.
Are you sure it was
okay?
Good?
Yeah, because do you think that Colton offered Rob the same thing he offered Lisa? Do you think there's any truth to that?
I heard that, and I believe it was through Seabass's Twitter X account. I saw some of those going through there, those speculations. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think
Why
so.
did he carry his bags for him? Like, I think that's the only thing that gives it some legs is he's like, I can't carry these, and Colton carried his bags up the hill for him.
Well, I think it's okay. Let's say me and you are on there, and me and you have only met in person once, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I think that if me and you met, we get along very well. We have a lot of the same stuff in common. If we were on a show together, do you think we would connect in a way of taking care of each other, watching each other's back, as long as one of us wasn't like completely crazy? Agree?
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like even in that situation, what our interests would probably take over, and that would probably lead to the friendship. Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think this is going. And I know a lot of people don't like Colton, and neither do I. I think it's going.
I don't like him either.
To the point of they're athletic. Most people aren't there, so if you are somewhat athletic, including Natalie, like you stand out by a lot because you know you can actually run and look like a real person, and not like Dave Portnoy. And so at that point, like I think that you combine and connect a little bit, but I also think there's other ways to connect, and I think that's the reason I'm using Rob, for example. Rob connected with Ron is because they had they're both a little standoffish, and people that are that way, that's the reason they connected. So people connect for certain reasons, just like me and you would connect to the same thing. If we were out, we would be, in the front working hard and trying to carry each other's bag. If somebody needed a break, that's how it would happen. So that's kind of where I stand. I don't think there's anything to it, but why those guys can't be friends and watch each other's back is I don't get. Because the housewives can, and then two normal people like that just get along because they don't have anything else in common, but maybe like they both like video games. Like those people could have a common interest, and they're friends in the house because of that. I think people go and flock to the kind of people that you like, and so I think that's kind of the reason they did. So I don't see anything weird about it.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I just When I think it might have even been Lisa, I think you might have retweeted it or something, where she said she thinks that he may have got the same deal that she was offered. Like Colton knows he's a traitor, but they're going to carry each other. But they genuinely look like they get along and are probably just friends. But I had to ask it because it was put out there.
Yeah, and the thing is with this, you can't both win. That's the thing. So yes, you can know and you can have that deal, but neither one of you can end up, both of you cannot win. There's no possible scenario where you both win in the end. And so
now,
maybe
two traitors win?
Two traitors can win, two or more, faithful can win as well.
Do they split the money?
They all split the money. That's the reason that traitor on traitor crime happens, because towards the very end, they'll do that because it lessens the amount they have to give up and split. So kind of smart. So we'll learn about all this.
I totally agree with Rob then. I don't want to split the bag with nobody.
Exactly. But let me bring up something else because we want to make sure we hit on everything. I wonder if Alan will have them add a traitor, because that's kind of how this thing goes over time as they work down to the end of the season. And we're going to wrap up here in a second. If anybody's out watching, we'll wrap up here in just a second. They add, and they can put out like a secret letter to someone, and they can accept being the traitor, or they can turn it down. I would assume most accept being a traitor, because the most that can win is 3. And so the most you would split the money is 3 ways. Faithful could be a lot more. So yes, somebody should be propositioned with becoming a trader soon.
Yeah, I think it happens. I've never watched the show to this season, but I think now that Lisa's gone and you got the Kelsey mom gone, I think it's a perfect opportunity to add another one.
Exactly. All right. Well, there are only 4 episodes left, and then the reunion. And so this thing is coming by fast. So we have roughly another month of talking about this. We'll be completely getting ready for March Madness, which will be exciting at that point.
And Survivor 50.
Yeah, Survivor's coming up. So there's a lot going on. But if you want to follow Seabass and find out his space, it's Seabass33. He'll be there tonight, I'd assume. If not, then maybe he'll have it another time, but you can always check on it. All right. So before we do anything, Survivor 50th on the 25th. Thank you for Miss Kim. I want to bring this up because it's the last thing we'll hit on before we get out of here. Pacers sending Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 first-rounders, and 1 second for Zubac and Kobe Brown. Wow, that's a good amount. The reason is because he's on a great contract. So if anybody's curious, that's the why. He's not necessarily worth it. I think he is, but he's not necessarily worth that in a sense. And so, but the fact that you're getting him on a good contract for not giving up much with that, they didn't like Benedict Mathurin anyway. So not a big deal on that one. So anything else that you want to hit on before we get out of here?
Yeah, I know a lot of people ask about the goal scorers. I can give you 4 guys that I like. I'm not giving odds. I'm just going to give you top 4 that I like. Ovechkin, Sam Reinhart, Brady Tkachuk. And if you're interested in this, power play points might be a good look tonight as well. The Preds have been killing it on the power play. Roman Yoshi's around plus 195 for a power play point. Darren Radish for Tampa is around same price. You put them both together at plus 652. That Tampa versus Florida tonight, we'll see a lot of penalties and a lot of chippy, a lot of fighting. Those 2 teams hate each other. Darren Radish has been damn near automatic this season on the power play. So those are just some thoughts tonight on the NHL slate. Don't go too crazy because some players have 1 foot in Cabo, 1 foot in Milan, and 1 foot not in any game tonight. So be easy when you're betting units on hockey tonight.
No doubt. And check out snowboarding. It's live right now in the Olympics. And so you can go check that out. It'll be a good time. But that's all we got. It's been a good Thursday talking some traders. It always goes long on Thursdays as we get deeper. We could spend another 20 minutes on that easily. But I kind of have to cut us off to a point. But thank you all for hanging out with us. Chat was popping today. Thank you all for being a part of this show. He is Rob. I am DG. Thank you all for hanging out and making us part of your day. Hopefully the best part of your day. Wouldn't you say, Margot? All right. See y'all.